can unmute the microphones. Welcome back to the Choppin' It Up show. I'm your host, Joe Beard. Happy to be of service for you today. Today is June 26th, 6 o'clock on the East Coast and 3 o'clock on the West Coast. We appreciate all those listening live or listening through podcast form through iTunes, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or wherever you are on the interwebs. This podcast is brought to you by Block Band Music and Publishing, blockusup.com, SAY Marketing and Promotions, Kevin Peete of ReMax Patriots, Math-Sci Tutoring and Educational Services, Lamik's Video, Bull City Music School, Prodigious Music Concepts, LLC, and the HBCU Recruitment Center. We're also proud to announce our partnership with the HBCU Experience Movement, LLC. The HBU Experience Alumni, our Band Alumni Second Edition, will release at the end of this month in June on Amazon. And that's what brings us to our guest today, the one and only Latrondrick Hunter. How you doing in this podcast, team?
I am doing well, team, and yourself?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for agreeing to be on the show, and congratulations about the book. So just to let you guys know, we will ask our standard questions here on Chopping It Up with Brother Hunter. Then we will break in the middle for our commercials or all our beloved sponsors, and then we'll get into the rest of the timeline after he tells us where he went in March in undergrad and all the things that he has done up to this point. And at the end, we'll let him give us a little teaser about his chapter in the book, the HBCU Experience Band Edition. All right, so let's go ahead and dig right into it. Brother Hunter, where are you from?
So I'm currently live in Huntsville, Alabama, but I'm originally from Florence, South Carolina, back home. That's where I was born and raised, and my roots are from.
Okay, now are your folks from Florence as well?
Yeah, so my mom born and raised in Florence, South Carolina, but my dad is actually Nigerian.
Okay, wow, okay, that's cool. Yeah, shout out to the good Florence. We talked Avery McFadden, my roommate
Yeah.
from school, was from Florence. In fact, I just not thought about. I don't know if you know his cousin Calvin.
Yes.
Calvin went to Smith.
Okay.
Yeah, so I met Calvin that year I was at Smith because we actually marched against South Carolina State.
Uh-huh. Early 2000s.
Yep. Yep, and we marched there and
Late 90s, early 2000s.
yeah, 96. It was 96.
Hmm.
But yeah, we met then, and then when I transferred in 97, that's when I met McFadden, and then he was like, man, that's my cousin. I was just like, wow, it's a small world. So kind of like how I was talking to you before we started recording, I mean, it's amazing how all us know each other in this HBCU band community. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, especially Avery, like we was talking about earlier, he is one of, we like to call Mr. Harvey's favorite. Leon Harvey was a band director at Wilson High School for 44 years. He's actually a Virginia State grad, and he had a few students throughout the years that was some of his favorite students, and we all know each other. We met each other personally, so Avery McFadden is definitely one of those.
Yeah, man, that's cool. And I think he was at Avery's wedding too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember him from there. So that's what's up, man. Okay, so you from that Florence area. Now, what was your first instrument, and how did you start to get to playing?
My first love is the trombone. So I come in from a single parent household where I had two older sisters. My older sister played the trombone, and my middle sister, she played the alto saxophone. When it came my turn, my mom actually played the clarinet in the band. All three of them went through Woodson High School under Mr. Harvey, even with my
Wow.
mom. And
Wow.
I picked the trombone because being a single parent household, financially, it was rough at times. So I saw it on my mom's face when she had to think about buying me another instrument for the house. So I
Right.
was like, you know what? I'm gonna make it easy on my mom. My sister decided not to continue with band in college, so I took her instrument and started playing the trombone.
Okay. Okay. Man, it's so many people had that story about I actually interviewed the Rogers brothers. Um
Okay.
yeah, and they and I think Javante's older, and I think he was playing the trumpet. He went to Fayetteville State, and then I think Brandon came later, and it was the same thing. He was like, "Well, I'm gonna play trumpet because that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
That trumpet is here." So so that's what's up, man. Okay, um, so now you picked trumpet. Now you from the South and from that area. What was your first HBCU band experience?
Who? I would say so. I come from a large family. That's my mom's side is 16 of them, and out the 16, 14 out the 16 are all military, and they
Wow.
were somewhat band heads and stuff. So I had uncles. Each summer I always spent time with my uncles at a location out of Atlanta, different locations. But long story short, one of my uncles lived in Atlanta, the Powder Springs area, and he was a huge Morris Brown fan. So that mid '90s, late '90s, I was going to the Morris Brown games. Also went to the South Carolina State games a lot, especially South Carolina State in those 98, 97, 98, 99, playing FAMU. I went to those games a lot. So
Yeah.
those were my growing up. I definitely had that HBCU band experience as far as getting recognized and understanding the culture.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, that was a really good time. Them fam South Carolina State games back in them days was those that was the truth. Cause I think the Sargent brothers they were at the two respective
Hmm.
schools. Yeah,
Lindsey Sargent was the chief arranger, associate director of bands at Florida A&M, and Ronald J. Sargent, he was director of bands at South Carolina State.
yeah, yeah. So those were the times, man. So that's kind of how I got acclimated because that was around my time, late '90s when I was getting. Cause we didn't have YouTube and all of that back then.
Those cassette players, or
Right.
or even before cassette, you just had the little recording
Record.
device in your hand.
Right. So so that's how I started getting like acclimated to all of that stuff. Cause my mom's from Charlotte, so she knew more about. And my
Ooh,
grandfather went to A&T, so she knew more about that. And then my dad from Mississippi, he knew more about Jackson State and all of that. So uh,
Charlotte. I miss the South Carolina State versus A&T game used to be
ooh,
Memorial Stadium in Charlotte.
yeah,
That used to be a really good band atmosphere.
yes, super live. And I hated people at Smith hated it because remember we played at Memorial Stadium, but
Hmm.
then when South Carolina State and A&T would come up there, then then that's when the stadium would actually get packed. Like what I'm saying, it was
Yeah.
off the hook, but it wasn't like that at our games. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So yeah, so
But you
I,
guys, you guys got there. I would say late '90s, early 2000s,
yeah,
when the ILOS had grew under Duncan C. Gray. Man,
yeah.
you guys, as far as bringing the crowd, you guys were getting there.
There was like '99. Like I remember
Hmm.
'99, 2000. They was pretty crunk. I do remember that. But yeah, '96, man, that was a rough year. I kind of we talked about it a little bit with Dudley High School and all of that before.
Hmm.
So yeah, so yeah, those are my early memories of Smith. But shout out to Smith, man. I love Smith and still talk to all the people I marched with.
You,
Um,
you know what? With Smith though, I miss hearing from Smith. Them putting the blindfolds on and marching. Now
yeah,
that was
yeah,
always a staple.
yeah. Yeah, that man. Well, you took it back. I forgot all about that, man. You took it back with that one. Um, so yeah. And shout out to Mr. Gray. I still talk to Mr. Gray a little bit on like LinkedIn. Like he might see I might post a show or something, and he'll may say something. But I'm just making
Mm.
sure he's still all right. And everything. So yeah, shout out to the area. Okay, so now this brings me to where did you go to high school there in that area?
So I actually attended three high schools. So I told you I come from a single parent household where my mom, we kind of moved around a lot in Florence. So let me actually have to back up the middle school. So I went to Williams Middle School, and because I was a pretty good player, I was able to march in the high school band at Wilson High School. So after school, I would bus all the way over to the high school, which was nothing but like a 10-minute drive. And I was able to participate in the marching band at Wilson High School. My ninth grade year at Wilson High School, that was Mr. Harvey's his last year. He retired, so
Okay.
I got to enjoy being his student. Actually at the high school his last year as the band director. So after my freshman year, I actually moved to Marlboro County. I went to Marlboro County for maybe a semester. My mom really didn't like the area. I mean, Florence is a little country, but Marlboro County is very country. I mean, your house is maybe right beside a cornfield or a cotton field.
Wow.
So that's just something my mom she just couldn't get with it. So we moved back to Florence, and after we got back to Florence, I finished high school at West Florence High School
Okay.
across town.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, you answered some of the questions I was going to ask you. Did you that you marched, but it seemed like you marched there at Wilson then,
Yes.
for that
Seventh,
part of your career.
seventh through ninth grade, I marched at Wilson. Beginning of 10th grade, I was at Marlboro County High School, and then I went transferred to West Florence High School mid 10th grade year, and I
Okay.
finished out my high school time at West Florence High School.
Okay. Okay. Bet. Okay. So now, and then of course you still marching trombone and everything. Tell us about your college selection process. So, like, did you have a list of schools that you was gonna go to? Like, what was going through your mind, all of that, and then at the end there, where did you end up going to Marsh?
So this is a funny story. My entire senior year, um, I made it known I was going to Florida A&M University.
Oh wow. Okay.
I mean, I was wearing a FAMU shirt. So each year, South Carolina State played at a high school at Woodson High School football game, and even though I was at West Florence, we every time they played South Carolina State, the one-on-one came to the game. We had an open week. That Friday night, I went to the game. I had my FAMU shirt on my senior year, right at South Carolina State, playing exhibition during halftime at Woodson High School football game.
Hmm.
I mean, everyone knew, even during senior night for my band, and we announced what schools we were attending. I announced that I was attending Florida A&M University. I received a scholarship there, auditioned pretty well. What happened is I made All State that year. So when you make All State in the state of South Carolina, you have to sit in the region alternate band to give other students the opportunity to sit in the upper band because you're already going to be sitting at the All State band. During that time, one of the assistant band directors at South Carolina State, Dr. Robert Lawrence, who has passed away now, he was one of the clinicians for Region Band, and my band director, even though he was a University of South Carolina grad, he was very interested in my development and me attending the HBCU because him and my former band director, Mr. Leon Harvey, they were very close. They were very close friends. They're still friends today and talk and go to like jazz clubs with each other and hang out.
Okay.
So uh, I went and to the Region Band, and I saw Dr. Lawrence, and he talked to me about South Carolina State. He was like, "Hey, we'll be interested, come in there." And my band director, high school band director, Mike Jones at the time, he was like, "Hey, I know you decided on FAMU, but you may want to think about South Carolina State." So that same year, I made All State Band. I also made All State Jazz Band.
Okay.
All State Jazz Band Clinic, I met other assistant director bands who's currently now at North Carolina Central, Jonathan Cooper. He met me at All State Jazz. He was the jazz instructor at South Carolina State at that time, and he tried to recruit me to come. And then later on, it was one day I got called to the band room from class, and I got the opportunity to meet Mr. Ellis. He was there. He came in.
Okay.
He spoke with me, and he invited me to campus to get a tour and audition for him. And so I took the offer and I went. I auditioned. I had a campus tour. He gave me a really great scholarship offer, and at some point, you know, I felt like I was kind of giving him the cold shoulder. Uh, so, if you know Mr. Eddie Ellis, he's like, okay, I'm done talking with you, son. Put your mama on the phone. Uh, so, so he talked to my mom. He talked to my mom, and all I know, she's like, well, you can get rid of that FAMU gear. You're going to South Carolina State.
What? Wow, it's just like that then.
Yeah, it was just like that, just like that.
Oh
I was,
wow.
I was, I was sold completely on Florida A&M.
Right. And that's interesting, man. I went to FAM band camp in '95, and I like FAM too. But I just knew my dad wasn't about to have that. So like because I kind of wanted to go, but I kind of wanted to make my own path. That's kind of how I ended
Yeah,
up at Smith, because nobody I knew went to Smith. Um, so, but yeah, FAM, man, and it's cool because it's a lot of folks in the book that went to FAM, and even when they did the edition with me the first time, there was a lot of FAM folks. So it's cool, and I always seem to end up meeting somebody from FAM. So that's funny that you actually you that's where you wanted to go,
yeah.
and right after that, you actually picked South Carolina State. Okay, so then
Mm.
what year did you finish high school?
2006.
Okay, 2006. So then you was I made a mistake in the previous. I don't want to say, so you were a freshman then in 2006. I can't say Crab. With Crab 2006. So yeah. So you were a freshman in 2006, going into Orangeburg, South Carolina. Okay.
Yeah,
So now what we're gonna do? We're gonna take a commercial break, play the commercials for all the sponsors, and then I want to get into your major, South Carolina State, what you wanted to do when you got out, and then all the extensive work up into the chapter for your book.
gotcha.
So we're chopping it up here with Latrondrick Hunter. We will be right back after the word from our sponsors. You guys keep it locked, as they say.
Band directors, have you ever found yourselves in this situation? Showtime is quickly approaching. Your budget is quickly disappearing. Your music choices are narrowing. The equipment condition is wearing and your stress level is mounting. Stop what you're doing and contact Block Band Music and find out how we've got you. Check www.blockbandmusic.com, providing music, equipment, gear, and accessories to show style, core style, and traditional bands worldwide.
The source for fair and factual information on your favorite college bands, blockusup.com. Well-written articles, in-depth band performance analysis, helpful resources for band directors, fun band-related topics, and exclusive interviews with some of today's brightest and most talented leaders of college marching bands. Visit us at blockusup.com, the meeting place for band fans and band directors.
Hello, everyone. This is Joe Beard from the Marching Podcast. Is your school, club, or organization looking for high quality decorated apparel to outfit your students, staff, club, or team? Tired of the same old boring white t shirt? Are you in charge of the upcoming fundraiser or special event but don't really have time to troll the internet for ideas or compare products? SAY can help with design and product selection. We can even assist with ideas on conducting an effective fundraising program. SAY can help you save time and get your message heard. So call 1-800-975-3156. SAY Marketing and Promotions.
Give your brand a voice. If you're thinking about buying or selling real estate in the Southern California area, please contact Kevin Peete of ReMax Patriots. He will meet and exceed all of your needs. You can contact Kevin at 951 858 5942. That's 951 858 5942. Or you can email Kevin at kpsaleshomes@sbcglobal.net. That's KP, his initials, Kevin Peete, KP Sales Homes, all one word, at sbcglobal.net. Thanks again.
You want the best barbecue around? Smokey-O's coming to your town. Ribs, chopped beef, baked potatoes too. Smokey-O's know what's good for you. You want the best barbecue around? Smokey-O's coming to your town. Ribs, chopped beef, baked potatoes too. Smokey-O's know what's good for you. Smokey-O's, come check us out.
Providing online or one-on-one instruction for high school and college students in algebra, geometry, trigonometry, calculus, physics, and chemistry. Visit Math-Sci-Tutor.com. That's MATHSCI-tutor, TUTOR.com to schedule a session, or contact Michael Okoro at michael@mathscitutor.com. So again, visit Math-Sci-Tutor.com, Math-Sci-Tutor.com to schedule a session, or contact Michael Okoro at michael@mathscitutor.com, providing online and one-on-one instruction for high school and college students in algebra, geometry, trigonometry, calculus, physics, and chemistry. Math-Sci-Tutor.com.
Do you like marching bands? Do you love band videos? Go subscribe to Lamik's Videos YouTube channel. Lamik's Videos YouTube channel has the largest archive of unbiased marching band videos on the internet. iPad giveaways, AirPod giveaways, and more. One more thing. Do you like this video? Prove it, motherfucker. Hit the like button right now. Hit that like button and subscribe to Lamik's Videos right now.
Bull City Music School is the modern approach to music. Enroll today and experience one of our virtual classes, and I can personally say that they are great. My daughter is a student at Bull City Music School learning the piano, and her teacher, Janetta Powell Hopkins, is doing an outstanding job. You can call Bull City Music School at 919-423-5701. That's 919-423-5701. Or you can go to their website at bullcitymusicschool, all one word.com. That's bullcitymusicschool, all one word.com. Bull City Music School, the modern approach to music. The HBCU Recruitment Center is the premier hub for increasing awareness and student interest in pursuing a college education at one of our nation's historically black colleges and universities. Founded by Dr. Tamisha Price Brock and Mr. Ricardo Reese, the HBCU Recruitment Center is headquartered in Las Vegas, Nevada, and provides educational consulting, degree and institution matching, and educational workshops for students and families. By forging student partnerships with key institution officials, the HBCU Recruitment Center will be the blueprint and catalyst for increased recruitment, enrollment, retention, and successful matriculation of BIPOC students at our nation's historically black colleges and universities. For more information, visit our website at www.hbcurecruitment.com. hbcurecruitmentcenter.org. That's hbcurecruitmentcenter, all one word, .org. Or you can give us a call, 1-800-676-1136. The HBCU Recruitment Center. Prodigious Music Concepts, LLC, founded by Dr. Tamisha Price Brock and Mr. Ricardo Reese. Prodigious Music Concepts, LLC, offers comprehensive music instruction, education consulting, and professional development services for K through 12 educators and administrators and college university music majors, faculty, staff, and administrators. Headquartered in Las Vegas, Nevada, our services are offered in both face-to-face and online settings, with individual and group services tailored to your needs. Contact us today at 470-771-9447. That's 470-771-9447. Or visit us on the web at www.pmconcepts.org. Prodigious Music Concepts, where we are musically building a better tomorrow.
Hi, my name is Alonzo Beard, and I'm a third grade honor roll student, and I'm the son of Joseph Beard, and you're listening to the Marching Podcast.
My name is Kennedy Beard, and I'm an honor roll student in the 6th grade. I'm also the daughter of Joseph Beard, and you're listening to the Marching Podcast.
Hey, this is Kennedy, and you're listening to the Marching Podcast. Hi, this is Nessa. You're listening to the Marching Podcast.
All right, we can unmute our microphones. Thanks again to our beloved sponsors. Okay, so just to recap a little bit, Brother Hunter is from Florence, and he swear he was about to go to FAM. He about to, and then next thing you know, he going to South Carolina State. Now you in Orangeburg now. So our favorite question on Choppin It Up show is we ask, what was your most memorable experience marching? So what was your most memorable experience marching there for the 101?
Whew. That's a really hard one because I actually have three, and it's hard to compare and say which one is more important than the other. So number one, in no order, Cardinal Knighton coming to South Carolina State and seeing his point of view, directing style, and musicality was a totally different feeling. And getting to speak with him on the sidelines and at rehearsal, him taking the time to impart knowledge on me, that was very, very impactful. Number two, getting to know, I don't know if you heard of Mr. George Spike Neely. Everyone calls him Spike. He is the percussionist for James Brown Band.
Wow.
And he is also Omega, and he's a graduate of Alabama State University. He's been with Eddie Ellis since the old McNair days, followed him to Morris Brown, and followed him to South Carolina State. I would say he's so impactful because the words, he just has a way of his words and how he get things across to you, and make you not just understand about band. He wants you to understand about life in general. So you got an opportunity to learn life lessons from him. And then my third most memorable moment is getting the opportunity to meet the late Ronald J. Sargent. I've taken a lot of his arrangements that he did on manuscript and inputted them in finale for him, incorporating a lot of his arrangements, passing them out to the band and reintroducing some of those old one-on-one staples that we used to play prior to Mr. Ellis taking over the program. we kind of brought those things back and started in like 2008. So that was a huge impact to be able to sit in his living room and speak with him and listen to his concepts and why and the reasons behind the things he did as far as arranging.
Okay, that's what's up, man. Yeah, and then of course you all picked someone I guess that's kind of helped you in your career.
Oh
Um,
yes, they
um,
all did in their own way.
hmm So okay, all right, that's good. That's good. Okay, so now you there at South Carolina State marching in the 101.
hmm
What did you decide that you were going to major in?
Out the gate. I majored in music education, but I switched over to music industry, finishing out. So I started off music education, but it's so interesting. I went to school for that for music, and I have the love and I have the passion for it. That's not exactly what I'm doing today.
Right.
Yeah. So I actually I went into retail after I moved out here. I was working with A&M band for a little bit with Carlton Wright, and then I started in retail with Dollar General. I worked my way up to a district manager and I left Dollar General after about 6 years. Then I worked as a store manager for Lowe's, and then now I'm currently at Amazon as a operations manager. So I still write drill on the side. Drill writing is my passion. It's my love. But and I've always missed band, but I hate to be greedy. I love money a little bit more.
Right.
If you a band director, I applaud all band directors because it's really not a lot of money in it. You're really doing it because that's your love, that's your passion. It is my love, it is my passion, but I just like money a little bit more.
Right. And it's time too, brother. Cause man, I started realizing I think because this is back in the day. I don't know if people are still doing it. Last time I talked to somebody that was actually in the band at Jackson State or someone younger than me, they said that they were getting out at like maybe 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And that was like, that's early. Because back, the 90s, man, we were always pushing 12 o'clock, like every night.
Whew.
So, and I think after the whole thing went down with Robert Champion, I think a lot of people cracked down on that.
Oh yes, I agree. We used to between 2008, 2009, especially 2010. We used to be in the stadium up towards 11, past 11 o'clock at night.
Woo,
But
yes, indeed.
like you said, after the entire Robert Champion thing happened, it was a lot of crackdown on school policies regarding the band directors at their own free will. That kind of came to an end.
Right. But yeah, that's a trip, man. Like you said, band directors, man, and just all of what they do is it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it probably
Yeah.
should get paid more, but it's a whole lot with all the things they do. Okay, so and then shout out to South Carolina State for that program. I think they have that program, and I think Hampton has that program. I don't know that many other HBCUs. I'm sure there is, but I know that music producer, music engineer, or something like that, they have that program. So that's really, really cool. I wish more schools had it. But yeah, man, that's actually cool to hear that you finished with that. So then after, so you finish. What year did you finish then at
2012.
Okay,
I
so
was
2012.
a super senior.
Right, yeah. I was too. I was too. Okay, so 2012. So then what did you do after that? Because you continued your education.
So that's when I moved out here to Huntsville, Alabama. I was working as a drill writer slash arranger with Alabama A&M for 1 year, and then I went right into retail after that.
Okay. And then you were at Huntsville, Alabama, and then is your master's degree is in
I
music as
didn't.
well?
I didn't finish. I didn't finish that.
Oh, okay. But you were a graduate assistant. That's what it is for the band.
Yes.
Okay. All right, bet. Okay. So now, after that, and you kind of led into it a little bit, you've also taken on some leadership positions in corporate America, but you are
Yes.
also doing a lot yourself with Kappa Kappa Psi. So, could you tell us the
Yes.
leadership experience that you've had with Kappa Kappa Psi?
So in 2015, yes, 2015, I became the Southeast District Governor for Kappa Kappa Psi. The Southeast District is composed of the state of Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, and Alabama and Mississippi. And I was basically the governor. It's kind of like a counselor role where I advise students in the active chapters, help them, assist them through any issues or any type of operational opportunities their chapter may have. A part of being a governor, I also was a part of different committees throughout the fraternity. I had the opportunity to install several chapters. I was called an advisor and installation officer for Alabama A&M, Miles College, Jackson State, High Point University. I believe that's it. Yeah. So I got the opportunity to go through that process with them. So those were great times. Some of the things that some of my former students in the Southeast District, they still reach out to me. You know, they were like trying, hey, you were all about the students and what they wanted to do. We developed a lot of great things as far as from a social aspect in the Southeast District, getting everyone to come together and work together and mingle together. So I was really big on that.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool because, and just for the folks to know, you were a drum major then at South Carolina State.
Yeah, so I became a drum back at the South Carolina State. I was a drum major my sophomore year, 2007. I became a drum major, and I was a drum major for 3 years, and then I later became a student assistant.
Okay. So yeah, so that, and I know the previous guy I just talked to, he was a drum major as well at Prairie View. So it's interesting how like you drum majors, because I was just talking to him, like that's not an easy job. You know what I'm saying? Trying to, because I know I was off the hook like as an upperclassman in practice, and you kind of have to, because they're like your friends and they're your peers, but it's like it's like we got to get this done. We got, you know what I'm saying?
I say my time as a drum major, though, I really appreciate it. I'd say that's when Mr. Ellis, he really took the opportunity to teach me administration side of moving the band, what it takes to run an effective band program. Because I was a music major, so he wanted to take that time while I was a drum major to show me the ends from the admin side, so I could be prepared if that's so true. That's something I wanted to do, is continue to teach band. So it really helped me and mold me into all the integral parts that takes to move a band. A lot of people think that stuff is easy, get upset when bands don't travel to point A and point B. It takes a lot to move a band.
Yeah.
It's not an easy feature. As you're dealing with policies, procedures from your institution. You have to deal with state laws from changing state lines. It's just so many things that you really have to think about before you move a band. So I really appreciate those opportunities to learn that side of the band as I was a drum major.
Yeah, and it looks like it also prepared you for just the leadership roles, even like with the corporate companies that you're working with, and then even because I had rolled into you being a governor there at Kappa Kappa Psi. It's just a lot of responsibilities.
Yes.
So then you talked about how you brought back the chapters. I remember Jackson State chapter was famously not there when I was there. But then you
25 years.
Yep. And then you were one of the people that brought them back. And the other thing in the bio that I had wanted to highlight was one of the things that your responsibility was doing the whole anti-hazing, like workshops, because of course it's important. But also you actually had as a guest speaker Robert Champion's mother.
Yes.
So
I
how did
believe
you pull that off?
It was 2016. I told you earlier, my uncle that lives in Atlanta, he knew her. So he gave me her contact. I reached out to her. We created a great relationship. And as governor, I helped my students come up with sessions and clinics at the conferences. So we had what we call District Leadership Conference, and it was at Georgia Tech in Atlanta, Georgia, that year. And one of the big points that we really was going after as a fraternity is reducing hazing to a complete halt. Like we need to, we're in a new age. The whole Robert Champion thing happened. Band is a focal point. Anything that deals with band, you're under the microscope. So we were just tackling hazing. So I had her and her husband. They actually wrote a book. They have great sessions, and they break down the mindset of what hazing is and how you allow yourself to be hazed. And they went from that point to explaining to the kids from the mindset. It wasn't per se. A lot of people, when I had it, they were a little nervous. They were like, oh, they're going to come here and talk about Robert Champion. Yes, they discussed him, but their entire session was around the mindset around hazing, how you allow yourself to be hazed, and the person who is actually doing the hazing.
Wow. Yeah, that's when I read that was in there. I was like, wow, what? And you know, commending her, because I'm sure that's, you know, people always talk about, you know, losing a child, that she's actually now going out and like speaking, you know what I'm saying, about it. So I guess things are different. I mean, I'm like you say, it's a new day. I don't know, like I'm not in the band room, and it's been a while, and you know, it's not much talk, but I'm guessing that things are a little bit better now.
Oh yes, it's definitely better. Like I said, after the Robert Champion thing, it has made administrations. They created organization where they meet with, especially HBCUs. They meet and they have a lot of different policies and things in place at HBCUs, even pertaining to the organization, the Fab Four, Kappa Kappa Psi, Tau Beta Sigma, Phi Mu Alpha, SAI. Not every HBCU, but most HBCU has this time period where you can begin the intake process. And from the time they start the intake process to the time they become brothers and sisters, that usually lasts, some schools, 2 to 4 weeks max.
Oh, wow.
I mean, and like, you know, Kappa Kappa Psi, you know, a lot of things that we have is out in the open. As you can see, we've created our national curriculum and things. Most organizations have done that, get everyone on the same page to do the same exact thing, because it's a lot of liability around our membership intake.
Right. And speaking of membership intake and the responsibilities of that, you're also a member of another fraternity.
Yeah.
Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. There you go. When did you pledge that, and why did you pick Omega?
Oh, so Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, I became a brother in spring 2011, centennial year. And why did I become a brother? It goes back to I call him my godfather, Mr. Leon Harvey, my first band director. Like I said, I started with him in middle school, marching in the high school band with him. He was a brother. He pledged at Virginia State University. So, and then there's other members. So I don't know if you know, we call him, he's a tuba player from FAMU called Eric Hennett. We call him Spam. He was influential in my life. I had Roderick Henderson, who's a band director in Columbia, South Carolina. I had Michael Clark, who's in Lake City, South Carolina. So these brothers of Omega has been very influential in my life, has been there all along since high school. So it was like a no-brainer for me. And then on top of that, I went to South Carolina State, where I had Mr. Spike, a part of the band staff, and he's a brother of Omega Psi Phi. He pledged at Alabama State. That's all I had in my head.
Right.
Actually, when throughout the entire process, Mr. Spike, he constantly checked up on me the entire time. I think one of the proudest thing, I actually still have it, I'm gonna frame it shortly, was the proudest thing I ever gotten as far as Omega was Mr. Spike gave me his old brush shirt.
Oh wow. Wow, from back in the day?
Back in the day.
Wow. Yeah, so like if you, for all the folks that don't know, if you got a brother that's giving you something, you know what I'm saying? That's one thing, but giving you something like that says a lot. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up. And you also said you work with Carlton Wright too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was there in 2013. I did some drill writing, a little bit of arranging, had some great time. Carlton, man, if I was in the band director field, my advice to any music educator, if you really just want to learn band and the ins and outs of a successful band program, my advice to you is to connect with Carlton Wright. He finished grad school at Hampton under Barney Smart.
Yeah.
So he has that whole mindset as far as it's not about just marching band and cranking up. No, it's about really sitting down and learn the fundamentals and create a really good tone and a nice sound. I've known of him. I didn't know him personally prior to A&M, but I've known of him being at Minor High School prior to coming to A&M, and I was introduced to that type of band. They majority African American band, but they were corps style, and he took his band to Bands of America, concert festivals, and superior ratings consistently. So my advice to any music educator listening to this, if you really want some jewels to be dropped in your head to get some great knowledge as far as music ed and being a band director, Carlton Wright is that person you really need to talk to.
Yeah, and then you brought up he was there at Hampton. He was there at Barney Smart was there.
Yeah.
And the brother from director at Bethune-Cookman was there.
Yes. Also, another one of my assistant band director, Benjamin McKnight, was there.
There you go, McKnight. So yeah, man, it's that was really special.
They were called. Correct me if I'm wrong. They were called Barney's favorites.
Right.
The Barney.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually chopped it up with Carlton Wright some years back, and we talked about that very thing. And then maybe 3 years ago now, the Honda had a float in the Rose Bowl parade, and they had a representative from each one of the bands that marched in the Honda that previous year. They came out here to California, so I remember I met them. Pedro at Bethune-Cookman, he was there. That's when I met Carlton Wright in person, and of course Willie Snipes. I had been talking to Willie Snipes over the years.
Snipes. Shout out to Willie Snipes.
Yeah.
That's a good brother.
I know he is, man.
That's a real good brother.
So yeah, he was there. So I got to meet them. So that was a really good experience. So yeah, man, that's you took it back with that one. But yeah, man, that that collection of people, man. I was just telling somebody, it's just amazing how we pretty much all know each other some way or another, and just like I'm meeting you, know so many people. So that's what's up, man. That's outstanding. So we're getting to towards the end of the interview, and I really appreciate your time. The other part of the information in your bio is also in the book. So I'm leaving a little stuff there for people to know more in depth about you. Make sure that you go get the HBCU Experience, the second band edition. Make sure that you guys go get that at the end of the month. And then the actual bio here for Brother Hunter will be in that book, along with his chapter. And then that leads me then to my last question for you is what kind of teaser can you give us about the chapter that you wrote there in the upcoming book coming at the end of the month?
I'm going to go ahead and give you the teaser will be actually the title, and it speaks for itself. Surrounded by Legends. I am super, super blessed to have been impacted by so many people that has made a huge impact, not on South Carolina State, but the HBCU band world as a whole. And to have these people in the same location for the most part, and being able to just be a download all this information that they have in their head, like they can just pass down, being able to just soak it all up. It has really molded me and made me into the person I am today. Even though I'm not teaching band, it has influenced my leadership skills as a band, as a person, as a man. So that's what I hope you get out of my chapter, being surrounded by legends. So I wanted to pay tribute to the individuals. I talked to about a few earlier already, but I wanted to pay tribute to people who has been very influential in my life.
All right, let me give you a round of applause for that. And that's definitely the connection I made when I read the bio. I was just like, man, he's in a lot of leadership positions, and you've been doing that for a minute now. So, you know what I'm saying? That's just basically part of who you are. So I wanted to make sure, so the bros are leaders. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I wanted to highlight that. That's outstanding. So it was really good talking to you. And it's nice to meet you. And so, I'm going to continue to, post this interview and all of that. And so, I think I'll reach out to you on social media and all of that. So I can keep in touch. To land the interview, do you have any advice or anything that you wanted to say before we close out the podcast?
I really appreciate the opportunity to come speak with you today. I'm still at awe right now that I was asked to be an author of the book. That was getting that phone call from Christy and Ashley. I really appreciate the opportunity. So I really thank you guys for allowing me to be a part of this adventure. So you guys check out the book. It's going to be awesome. I saw to be listed in this company of authors, of heavy hitters, I like to call them. I'm totally honored to do so.
Yeah, man. I just interviewed someone previously a couple hours ago, and I was saying the same thing to him. Just the bios alone, like you could actually just go through and read each person's bio and see like how much. I mean, it makes you proud to be an HBCU grad. You know what I'm saying? And that we out in the world doing so well. So,
and actually, one little sneak peek. So I said I work at Amazon. The type of site I work at is a traditional 9 sort. So I have a library in my site. So I'm actually able to like go sneak and look at the book before.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So yeah, so like when is it coming out? She said end of June, but it's like the 20. I'm guessing 20 something.
29.
Okay, I wonder if that's what it was last year. The 29. I remember it was 20 something end of June. So that's what's up, man. It's actually been really cool. Shout out to Gary Norman. I saw him in the chat say something. Another fam brother. He was one of the authors up in there. So, yeah, man, just really proud to meet you. Proud to see that you're doing your thing. And then another good person from Florence. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's really cool. That's really cool. And, enjoy your time in the shine. I'm guessing that you guys, you know what? I don't know. I know that they were telling us that we were going to they wanted to have like a book signing at the Honda, but with the virus and all of that, we had to do it virtually. So I don't know what's going to happen with the Honda this year. I haven't heard anything. But maybe you guys will get an opportunity to be in Atlanta for that book signing. So I'm sure we'll all hear about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what's up. Let me give you a round of applause for the one and only Latrondrick Hunter.
Thank you.
All right. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor or a patron to the Marching Podcast, please contact the show and we'll give you the criteria so we can start to pub your business using our platform. We'll play your commercial, we'll post your website on our blog, and we'll help send out your information through social media. We want to start to circle the dollars around our craft to help build opportunities for our schools and our communities. So contact us so we can help to build your business. That's all the time we have for this podcast. Check out the website and donate what's in your heart to themarchingpodcast.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Thanks to you for listening. And remember, the eye is a better pupil and more willing than the ear. Advice may be misleading, but examples are always clear. See you next time.